Good afternoon and welcome to 802 Scoop, live from the Inside Scoop studio at 185 North Main Street in Barrie. A whole plate full of stuff today. We're going to talk about cameras and no trespass orders and so some things that seem negative around here sometimes, but some real positive things too. So welcome this afternoon. We have with us Jeff, of course, my co-host and partner in crime, and then a special guest with us today, Rich McSheffrey.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm super. How are you guys?
Good. Enjoying this beautiful sunny day.
I am. I've been running around. I'm like, it's 50 degrees. I'm sweating. I asked Raylene, I was like, does the camera make me look fat? She was like, no, your face does. So just already insulted.
So did not.
I knew I shouldn't have come on this conservative podcast.
Yeah, I should have warned you about her.
That was
I'm
right.
sorry. You know.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get mine in before this is done, I bet.
Yeah, probably. But I do have a tendency to get in trouble, don't I?
Yeah.
Every now
A little
and again.
bit.
But hey.
But don't we all?
You've always been mouthy.
I know.
Whatever.
I can't help it. It is what it is. But I mean, let's dive into it. We know that the last month, it's been happening a lot more than a month, but the last month it seems to be people have gotten more vocal about the crime and the loitering and the panhandling and the theft of property and vandalism of property. Over the last month, it seems to be that people are being much more outspoken about it. I know I have personally been that way and decided that I was going to start posting video of it online, and so that people felt as though they were called out, but also to make people aware of what is around them. And I will tell you, from doing that, one thing I learned from watching the footage and posting the footage is how many people that even in this building, how many of the tenants that live here walk across the parking lot at midnight with their nose stuck in their phone texting the whole way across. Put your phone in your pocket and pay attention to your surroundings, because that's important. And it seems like more so lately when there's a lot more
Maybe they're
things happening in
maybe
the
they're
night.
videoing and really paying super close attention.
Maybe, but I am not thinking so. The little fingers are going and you're texting away while you're walking, and you just have to really pay attention to what's happening around you.
Yeah. And it's picked up more because the weather's broke. It's
Oh yeah.
once it gets nice out.
Once the shirts come off around here, everybody, it's go time.
Well, that's kind of true, right?
It's like when
I love it.
when the crack roaches come running out, onto the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Did you call them crack roaches?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's cool.
They come out on the sidewalk. Yeah. I mean, I guess it is. This is when things are happening. But the city has moved to purchase cameras for downtown, and that became kind of controversial. And I don't know. I think there was kind of an even number at council of people that were either for or against it.
I think so. I think maybe. I think some people might have been trying to educate themselves with it. And I mean, as far as me, I'm always up for a good discussion. But if I'm passionate or I care about something, obviously I'm leaning one way. Something like cameras to me isn't a political thing. It's a what are the intentions of them? What are you trying to accomplish? And from the intel I gathered before showing up at City Council was, we really just want to take an approach at making things a little easier around here on the cops, and allowing people to find out a little quicker. I think the easiest way to explain what happened is a lot of people are like, well, if they're not watching them and they're not, all the time, which obviously would cost money this city would never put into it, but if they're not watching them all the time, then they're not going to prevent crime. And I think that was a factor for a lot of people. But for me, if I think I even said the same thing that night, if I had a family member or something get hit by a car or something, a drunk driver, and they took off in an intersection, I'd want to have a camera there so the police can go right to it. They know what time it happened, and boom, they're on the ass of that person before they hurt the next person. So those type of situations. So preventing crime, no, it's a deterrent for sure. Like if you look up and see a camera, you're probably going to be a little less apt to do something really stupid. But I don't think it's a violation of any rights. I don't. Every single store you go, there's no waiver on Hannaford's door telling you you're on camera. You're on camera everywhere. At this point, 20 years ago, I might have argued differently, actually. Like, I hated it when my company put in cameras. I just thought, like, oh, they're watching me? Like,
what's going on?
Like, what are they looking for? But I think just like anything, you have to have a proposal, a purpose, an agenda, and then, you give it a shot. What do you got to lose? So that's how I feel about cameras in general.
Yeah, and I mean, we are giving it a shot. And I think, has it been a year since they started using the body cams? I think it's been just over a year.
That's it? Oh,
I think about a year and a half.
Yeah, it hasn't
going on 2. Yeah.
That they started using those. And even
Rats,
those,
too bad they didn't wait another year.
Yeah.
We'd have another cop in town.
Yeah.
But whatever, different subject, I
Yeah.
guess.
If they had waited another year. Well, I mean, we can touch on that subject as well. That's something.
You got me. I told the girls I'd be home around 5. You got me for whatever
There
you
you go.
want. He's already
But-
elected, so I can't help or hurt him anyway.
I mean, seriously,
Bring it.
though. I mean, Officer McGowan. It's a huge topic. There's petitions, online petitions. There's paper petitions.
It's actually a lot of-
circulating. There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of, not to say that not everybody's good people, but there's a lot of really good people that I've seen sharing this stuff. And are you asking? Do you want to know what I think about it?
Yeah, I really do.
I mean, I think that being a police officer is become a really more difficult than ever job because of cameras and because of things that get national attention and shakes down to the small towns. And I think the majority of police officers, like the majority of most humans, are good people that are doing a job and want to get home safely to their kids. They're not out there to get in a fight. It's the last thing they want to do. But for me, I watched the video when it came out. I watched it again a couple days ago because my mind started working when I saw so many people that I care for that seem to care for him. All I can say as a business owner, he was the most present, other than like Tucker at night, the most present cop.
Yeah.
Like during the daytime, like that I ever saw between my businesses. And I never had to say more than 20 words. He was feet on the street doing his job. Never looked out of place to me. I'd seen him helping people, and I'd seen him breaking stuff up. And it's a really hard job that's made harder by national stuff over the years, and rightfully so. There's bad people out there. There just are.
Oh, for sure.
And some of them wear a uniform. I don't think this is a case of a bad guy. I think this is a case of somebody who unfortunately had to, again, probably for the 100th time, no, I don't know, but chase down the same person that's, been causing so much havoc around here. And he probably gets sick of doing the same thing all day, every day.
Yeah.
And
no
I think he was in
backup.
no
was
backup.
waiting,
He
right.
didn't have his radio. I mean, I'm sorry. I think maybe it was one less punch and he would have been okay. But in a case like that, if the Vermont State Police, okay, I would think that's the upper echelon of the police in Vermont, if you forget about Super Troopers.
Yeah.
They're your guys. If they investigate it, they're the ones you call in, to investigate the biggest crimes in the state of Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the state is sending in the state police, they do an investigation and clear someone. I don't know. I think that should.
Right, and he
I
was
think that
cleared
should outweigh.
twice.
I think that should outweigh Windsor County. If that's correct me if I'm wrong, but if that's where it was, but I didn't see anything of it. Thinking about being in that same exact situation that had gone too far. And that's my opinion. I understand if people, I also do think if he would have kept his job, there would have been fucking outrage and people would have been standing on the streets with signs that, you got police beating people. And I know how it goes enough to.
Yeah, damned if you do,
It's
damned if you don't.
Yeah, it's a double-edged
thin
sword.
line. It's a very thin line.
It is, and I feel bad because they have a really, really, really difficult job that is oftentimes thankless, and it's dangerous, very dangerous. You definitely have you have an X on your back if you're a cop in a little town like this.
Oh, in
when there's
any
only
town
two of
lately,
you and
it
everyone knows
seems.
that. And
In any town lately, it seems. I mean, so many.
it's sad. I would love to have more details. I would love to see that if, this petition is saying reinstate him, like if in fact he did want to come back. I don't know how you go about that, but I think the dust has settled a little bit. I think that you need to, as community people that have made these decisions, maybe step back now and look at how your community that you work for and get paid for is responding to it. And if it's an overabundance of Team McGowan, then you need to at least sit back down at a table with the details and go over again. That's my opinion. I don't know how any of that would work or if you could even do that. People deserve second chances, especially if they're putting their life on the line every night for us.
Yep.
There, Jeff.
And you think about, well, it wasn't too long after that, there was a shooting just down on North Main Street.
It was like, a few days later.
and,
Guess who wasn't there?
And then, here's these cops that are going into they don't know what.
Not only that, but it takes a long time for any person to develop a relationship with their community.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's me. It doesn't matter if whoever it is, a city councilor. Like you may not like some, and then you're like, wow, they're doing really nice things, or a cop, But a cop becomes very embedded. You see them at all the hockey games, the football games, any place that security is necessary in a small town. You see that same face. I mean, we have Hool, Randy. People love them.
Yeah.
And they should because they're good
The
people.
problem is even for somebody like Randy or Hool or anybody that's been on the force for a long time, and they get to know people in the community. But when you're dealing with an addict, who they were the day before, who they were at noon, may not be the person they are at 7 o'clock.
Sure.
I mean, that's just the way it is. It depends on what they've taken, what they're doing, and you don't know, are they going to be calm? Are they going to deal with you calmly? Or are they going to flip out? I mean, you have no way of knowing that when you get into the situation until you're in it. And then and all hell breaks loose.
A single cop chasing somebody, hitting him a couple times without a baton, a taser. I mean,
no backup, just
your radio's dislodged. I don't know. You have police camera on.
Yeah.
The police camera's not going to stop your adrenaline, but if you're a reasonable enough dude, which I think he is, he's not trying to get himself in that position, for God's sake. He likes his job. He built a family here.
Right.
I don't know. I think sometimes things need to be reconsidered, especially
Judy
things that are.
Copping says, too bad his camera wasn't on at the beginning of the call, that because no one knows what he did to start being chased to begin with.
I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think that matters. I think
Right.
it's once you're in what people see as control, then anything over and above that is too much.
Right.
And to me, until he hit him a couple of times, he didn't have control.
Control.
Then once he had control, he's like, yeah, I can't breathe. He's like, you're talking, you're breathing. Like he's
Right.
pretty relaxed at that point because he's got him under control. But when he hit him, he didn't have him under control yet, and he was still trying to get away.
Yeah, it's
In my opinion,
a tough situation all the way
cops are too few and far between. Good cops are.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, they're shorthanded. You can't. It's hard getting cops right now. It's very hard getting cops. I think they're 5 down.
I mean, which is scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
It's scary from a citizen standpoint. The budget's obviously there for them. The funding's there for them. The cars are there for them.
Yeah.
The crime is there
Just
for them.
nobody wants to do it anymore.
Yeah. What would you?
And because no.
It's like, what do you have? What do you have to actually protect yourself in that situation?
Yep.
You're under a
The guy used one hand. It wasn't even like he was throwing combos at the dude.
Yeah.
He was like, he hit him with one hand a couple of times.
You're under a microscope every time you're out on a
And
call.
under
Well,
no
of course.
circumstances would I want to do it. I mean, they're the least supported in not here as much, but we know in other communities it's defund the police, get rid of
wait,
the
let's
police.
let's
and
not forget
we
what
can't
happens
do
once
that.
they do the good work and they get these people
Right,
in
the
their
court
car
just
and
lets them
arrested.
go.
They go out the next day, or a
Yeah.
citation, they're out the next day,
Yeah.
and I'll appear in court
And
in a month.
sometimes
Those
not
guys
even
don't
the
care.
next day, within hours.
Hours.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from talking to police that I won't name drop there from here. That's why they're frustrated. That's why they can't wait until their day comes when they can retire, because they just keep seeing the same jerks, the same. It's this, as you saw in that meeting the other night. A lot of it's repeat offenders.
Yeah.
It doesn't take too many people to ruin the bunch.
You
in a-
arrest
in a-
them
in a
at
town
1
this-
o'clock on Tuesday, and then 10 o'clock Wednesday morning, they're in court, and by noon, they're out on the street again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And out on the street again to them means out on the street, most likely doing something stupid.
Doing the same
Nothing
stuff.
productive.
Judy's asking if there are cadets in the program, and yes, there are 3 that are in the program right now.
They
and
won't be
it-
ready
it's-
till like February or March.
Right, by the time they get
They get out of there.
the academy, they do their ride-alongs,
Yeah.
their whatever within the department, all their training and stuff.
Yeah.
So they decided to fund that again. I didn't even know. 'Cause I
Yeah,
knew-
there are 3 cadets right now at the academy.
And even that, like you can argue whatever you want about that too. They don't have any. They don't even have handcuffs. Blah blah. It's presence. And what we're trying to do next week is presence. It's saying, like. just be
And when you
around.
say that, people have been asking a lot lately about those bumblebees. Remember the kids?
Yeah,
from
that was the Norwich guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that rode the bicycles during the
Correct.
summer. So many people have been asking about that.
Well, that's who it is. It's
why don't we
Norwich.
bring them back? Why
Well,
don't
because they took it out of the funding.
Right, the budget got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just. And now Tina's saying the same thing. Can we get the bumblebees back? And that's what a lot.
That's
of
what it
people
was
have
in
been-
Norwich. So now you can
Yeah.
tell them that they're training. I didn't even know that's news to me. So there, breaking news.
Yeah.
They've got 3 of them training.
Yeah, they're training.
So they're
Yeah.
coming back, everybody. The bumblebees are coming
Oh
back.
no, not the bumblebees.
No, this
We're
is
talking
the
about
regular
officers.
full-time cops.
Oh, the full-time
Officers.
I thought you said they were hiring Norwich. Oh, you're talking about guys that are in Norwich police program.
Right, that are in the program. So they're in the program to so that they can
Well, even better.
be on the beat. Yeah.
Even better.
So we'll see. Now, this week you also you talked about having business owners kind of team up and do a no trespass. But there are some people that don't understand how to do that or what that means.
It's a
What
very
do
simple
they
form.
do?
It's a very simple form online, or the police department will print you one off. You have to own the property, or the building owner has to fill it out. You could do the same thing in your home. You have every right in your business to decline business to whoever you want. I mean, we used to no trespass people back in the day that get in a fight or whatever. Cornerstone is pretty low key, and that way now. But when we first opened, we had a few people that we immediately no trespass. Yeah, it's a simple form. You fill it out, you turn it into the police, and then they serve them. That's where it gets a little whatever. They have to serve that to the person, so they're aware.
Right, they have to be found. And,
Yep, which in this case isn't too hard to find this
Find
person. I've seen him
that
3 times
person.
today by
Yeah.
accident. So, yeah, I mean, and what that does is so when if you listen to the council meeting about cameras and the police chief there speaking, they go and talk to these people because they get a call. Jeff calls and says, hey, I've got this guy out here. He's aggressively panhandling, or seems like he's intimidating this lady. I had a story yesterday from somebody at a bank, I won't mention that, watched some lady with Alzheimer's leave. And this same person approached her, and she didn't even know what to do, and they went out and kind of rescued her. But if they call now and you don't have a no trespass, all they can do is say, shoo, and he can come back there in 5 minutes. If you have a no trespass, you can get arrested because you're trespassing. Arrest is very different than a shoo. It's very different than a meet and talk to somebody. So
And let's make it clear. You're not saying this, you're not saying this to be an asshole. You are trying to give a non-violent means of taking care of the situation, how we can all form together.
I mean, and if nobody wants, if
and-
you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I haven't even filled out mine yet because him and I have a little understanding on my corner at the moment. But if that understanding we have gets breached, then
Right,
I'll,
if it changes. Yeah.
I'm giving people an option of how to protect themselves simply, free.
Right. Right.
I would say the first thing I would do is I'd put a camera on the front and the rear entrances of every business. If every one of my businesses has them,
Yeah.
if you think you're going in Cornerstone or Too Loco and not being on camera, I've got news for you. But we don't sit around and look at them
Yeah.
all day. What we do is if we have a problem, we go back and look at them, find out who it is, and then report that. So again, doesn't prevent the crime because we don't have the means to sit there and watch TV
Right.
all
Yeah.
day.
And nobody has the time to do
Correct.
it either.
And the
Busy
people that do,
working.
it's very expensive. Like it's not something that you have in your budget as a restaurant. But no, so just give somebody an opportunity. And like when I propose walking, I'm like, I'd rather go out and walk on a Thursday, Friday night when there's more people around.
A lot of people around.
And like go have a couple beers and stuff. But like at places that I support the hell out of downtown in many ways, but I don't support downtown because I'm home with my kids most of the time and I'm not working. So it'll be fun for me too. But I chose Monday because my restaurant's closed Monday.
Right.
Because I knew if I got a million people to share it and stuff, which they did, we broke Facebook for a couple of days, good for us. But that they'd be like, oh yeah, he's just trying to get people to come down to his restaurant. No, we're closed. Let's go to, I want people to go to the other restaurants that are open, the people that, put the legwork in and stay the extra, the Meltdown, the Corey, like places, I haven't been to the Social Club yet. I haven't been to Foxy's. I haven't been to the pool bar. I just haven't because I don't go out. So I just think it's even though Monday night's not the best night because there's less things open, that can be changed. And this isn't a march. This isn't like bring your signs and your
Right.
your guns and everybody looks stupid. No, just disperse. Just be downtown.
Right.
I know.
Just community.
I know.
Period.
Yeah, I know. Like Nick's chapter's like, we're going to stay open, later in case people want to pop in there. Cool. Nelson's, I got a few, a bunch of emails back actually of people that are psyched about it because they're like, oh, maybe it'll drive a little foot traffic on a Monday when we're not busy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about showing presence. It's not about coming down here and staring down,
Asking for vigilante
staring down the less
justice.
fortunate or
Right.
people that we're human beings. Like I don't want a bunch of shithead adults down here either that are just trying to cause trouble. That's not the point. This isn't
Exactly.
this isn't a fight. This is stop being scared of being in your downtown.
Yeah.
It's not that scary. It really isn't. Like you'll talk to a million people that walk to work and back and forth and up Main Street 1,000 times a day that never have a problem with anyone. Somebody asks them for money, they're like, no, I don't have money, I don't carry cash, sorry.
Yeah.
Have a nice
And
day.
then they leave some people alone, and some people they don't. And
Yeah, and
it's
that's what they're feeling for the day. How close are they? Are they $10 away from getting that next high? And like,
right.
just,
Or have they already done it, and now they don't?
and it's not
give a
just
shit
it's
what
not
they're
just
doing?
him.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, there's others.
But it's also like it's also we're not in Boston here. I lived in Boston for 15 years. Like this is a
Right.
joke. But in Boston, you have the presence of numbers. There's so
Yeah.
many people around and so many cameras and so many police that you feel more secure sometimes in the bigger cities than you do in the smaller ones.
Yeah.
But no, this is our downtown. Like you know what I mean. It's theirs too. It's theirs too. Coexist. Walk around. Take your shirt off. No one gives a shit. Follow the rules. Follow the laws and leave people alone. Don't harass
Tina
people.
says that Don Ruthier plans to be there on Monday night, and he thinks it's a great idea. And
Oh,
a great
wonderful.
Start. So he's
Yeah, I've got a lot of positive
He's
feedback.
advocating for neighbors, helping neighbors as well. So
As they should. As they should.
and they've talked about neighborhood watch programs.
Well,
I think,
they
Well,
have them in the neighborhoods.
We had
Got
it.
it.
We had it for quite a while,
yeah,
and
for a long time. And I like your idea about the walking as a community downtown more than I've heard the whole let's walk neighborhoods, but my worry is that you have to have a good group of people walking. You have to make sure that you all agree that that's what you're doing. You're walking, you're chatting, you're enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
Not that you're going up to anyone, because no one should be approaching anyone because of what we were just saying. We don't know
Presence of
Right,
many
that's it.
will eliminate the problem eventually anyway.
Yeah.
This is to try to start something. I'm not going to be down here every Monday walking.
Right,
I'm
me
going to tell you
either,
that.
I can't.
But maybe I will on Friday or Thursday, or encourage people to do it more
Other
often.
days or-
Maybe you park at Cornerstone, but you go have a beer at Mulligan's and then you walk back at the end and grab dessert. Or maybe you go in and have a sandwich at the Meltdown and then walk downtown and have a drink and walk back. So you're just covering some ground and showing presence. So not everyone that's driving by in a vehicle is going, oh, scumbag, you know,
Right.
you're like, oh my God, those look nice, reasonable people.
Right.
They don't have any problem over at the park when they do the park things or the farmers markets, or even the big events like, what's it called, Heritage Fest.
Yeah.
Those people are all here. They're around, but we're coexisting with them, and that's just the way it's going to be. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, maybe
As long as that courthouse is here, they're not going anywhere.
exactly.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure not.
Well, and the fact that 90% of the buildings around are 600 years old and falling apart. You know.
You know, maybe stores might stay open later too. When you've got people out.
I mean, I just closed my restaurant for lunch every day because
Yeah.
I watch people that are less fortunate getting their lion's share of business struggling even harder than we are. And for me, it's like just manipulating the labor and different things. And I'd like to be open lunch and dinner every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? Of
Yeah.
course I do, but we don't have enough good humans. And, we all recycle the dirt bags that want to come in and work for a week, get a check, and
Yeah.
move on, or because we have no choice. And sad.
Right, exactly. It is sad, and it's unfortunate that we've gotten to that point. And
So yes, if anyone's watching, everything's for sale. So you too could own a bar,
you too could own a bar. Why not, right?
restaurant.
But, it's never going to be like it was in like the late 60s, early 70s because stores stayed open later. You had more stores on Main Street. You had clothing stores. You had like Bryant Daily, which was like today's Home Depot,
Yep.
Restaurants stayed open later. And then on Friday nights, most of the stores are open till 9 o'clock. And
Right.
there was
That's what I was gonna
activity
say.
up and down the street.
We also do have a lot of food establishments now.
Yeah.
I think my math was maybe 10 or 12 just within a mile of Cornerstone that are new
Yeah.
since we've built Cornerstone. So our numbers are not what they used to be, but it's based on,
Right, the
even if
options.
5 people go here and 10 people go there and 20 here or 30.
It's the option.
So yeah, and that's great, but it's hard when you're only dealing with a X amount of thousands of people. You're not
Yeah.
you're not dealing
Right,
with
you're in a
million
small
people.
town
You're
to
not
begin
Burlington.
with.
So.
But it's your idea to get people back out on the street again. Could pick up business a little bit.
I would give up business to see the city thrive.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't. There is not a single bit of ego. Like it wasn't like I was calling you to be on the show. No, but.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, no, it's like, I have no ego. I want to see something, I want to see Barry do well. I've got 2 little girls that are going to be raised around here, and I just want to see it, I want to see it thrive.
Yeah.
And it can and should.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Hillary Scott says she loves driving downtown and seeing the cars on Main Street at night. She assumes they are supporting local business, and that's,
Oh, Hillary.
that's the best part of it, that you can. And it does seem to be more busy sometimes, definitely sometimes. During
course.
basketball season, it was insane. You come down here at night, and it's kind of like it used to be. That was the feel
But
you
what you
had down
can't,
here.
but what you can't do is have people pushing people out of town when we only have X amount of people that are willing to come to Barrie and eat
Exactly.
and dine
Yeah.
and go to businesses in the first place.
Exactly. You can't have.
You can't afford to lose them.
Yep.
And that's why I'm here. That's why I just don't want to see anyone losing any more business just because of a few bad eggs that are really, I don't know, they're not they're not too scared of me, but I could
Right.
definitely be seeing my mom or
Yeah.
my little sister or something getting scared if she's by herself and somebody strange
Absolutely.
approaches you. But
Yeah. Well, we had an incident not too long ago, a few weeks ago, at a meeting that we were all at. And an elderly gentleman that was with us, he has an oxygen tank, he had his walker with him, the whole nine, or cane, the 3-legged cane. And Brandon approached him, and his car's already running, his wallet's sitting on his seat, his door's open because he's trying to get his oxygen in his car and everything. And he wasn't leaving him alone. And that was frightening. That was like, okay. And we definitely stepped in. I stepped in, and then somebody else took right over. Well, Don did. He took over and said, get out of here, right? Get
yeah.
lost. And he did. Then he left and was gone. But the frightening part about that was we all were still right there. We were all talking. We had our backs to this other gentleman. We, where we weren't really paying attention. Somebody noticed out of the corner of their eye what was happening and alerted
He's a
the rest
sneaky
of
little
us.
sucker.
But
Hey,
he
he's
really
like,
is. We did not
Slick.
know what was happening. And
Just came out of nowhere.
yeah, and the woman was standing not too far away, just watching, and but the fact that we were all there and that did not intimidate him at all, I think was what shocked me the most. Was
Oh,
that
yeah,
he
no,
was
I don't think
still willing to walk right up to this gentleman and
Yeah, I don't
do
think
that.
he has I don't think he cares.
The wherewithal.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think he has a clue.
yeah. It was just I was a little bit shocked by that.
But in the other side of the coin is that he's gonna mess with the wrong person one of these
Yeah.
times,
Yep.
and we all have rights too. Like
Well, and
I
that's
hope he
the
doesn't. I hope he
unfortunate
never
part.
accidentally hits me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But
But
like
it's the unfortunate part, though, because then somebody that shouldn't be in trouble is going to be in trouble.
well, they shouldn't get in trouble. I'm saying if he ended up crossing the line, the little slick bastard though, he's like
Yeah.
he's like the mouse that gets the cheese out of the trap without getting his head snapped. And so
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time. Like, and it sucks. It's too bad. Like I said, I'm a human, and I wish that
Yeah.
I wish that he had the help that he needed along his life, so he wasn't here in the first place. But he is, and I think again we got to coexist a little. But showing up in numbers, no one's scared when there's people. I'm telling you right now, if there's 50 people walking around here on Monday night, he is not going to be. And if he's messing with you, you're not going to be afraid of it.
I wish I brought it's in my car. I don't know why it's in my car, but it is. So mace is a problem. You can get yourself in pretty big trouble if you mace somebody, because that's assault, and because you're only allowed to give the force that was put on you.
Sure.
So I have one of those little tiny blowhorns. Seriously, those little air horns. But if you sound that thing off, no, you push the button. It's
I
the
know you do.
canned air.
Yeah.
You push that thing off, everybody around you is going to know that there's something going on.
Yeah, it's like a rape whistle.
Yeah, and so except way worse. This thing is crazy ass loud, and I love it. If you trigger that, everybody around you is going to be looking to see what the hell. And chances are, whoever is bugging you is not going to stick around to deal with that either.
And whoever's coming on Monday,
It's super
don't
quick.
bring cash.
Yeah.
Don't bring cash.
Yeah.
Everywhere takes credit cards, or bring cash and spend them at the bars that wish you would spend cash on them. But no, I just don't have any cash. It's not hard. I don't have any cash.
Yeah.
I
And
sometimes
even if you do, you
speak
can
a different
say no.
language is sometimes fun. Like pretend that you're French or something. But I'll say,
Yeah.
like you don't understand what he's asking for. That's cool.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. Cry. Just start bawling.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
That's probably what you do.
Yeah, I
Well,
do. Yeah.
yeah. I actually heard it at Cumberland Farms the other night. We were, and Tina says, don't carry a purse. He was asking people for money, or not Brandon, somebody else was asking for people for money up at the South End Cumberland Farms. Just needed $40 more to have his car towed. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
It was broke
Yeah.
down up the road, just $40 more. He called the tow truck back. And so the guy that he approached to ask said, I was just going to ask you if you had money that I could borrow, because I
Yeah,
need to put
I saw
gas in
that.
my car to get to wherever he said. And that's how he answered him, though. Like
I'm sure he's gotten some pretty clever answers over
Yeah.
the years. I don't think.
I was going to ask you the same thing. Do you have any money? And
I
so,
tell him, I'm a mechanic. Get in, I'll give you a ride up. Maybe I can get it going for you.
Right.
You know?
yeah.
Get him out there and beat the shit out of him.
Hey, Jeff. Can't talk like that.
Well,
Not even on this podcast.
yes, you can.
Oh, on this one, you'd say anything.
Oh.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. I don't care.
All of a sudden, I get to work tonight and there's no one there.
No. I think you'll be safe. I mean, for the most part.
All right, let's stop talking about him. Let's,
yeah. No, we'll
we're
move
done.
on.
Let's get people out in the community. Support your people in your community,
Right.
or they're not going to be here
Local
long term.
business,
Okay,
all that good stuff.
it's the oldest thing in the world.
This is Thunder Road weekend too, isn't it?
Yes. So the first
you
race
go.
Thunder Road this weekend. You said Little League baseball. The first
First
game is
games,
tonight.
regular season starts tonight, 6 o'clock up
Tonight
at
at
Bond
Bond
Field.
Good stuff.
all kinds of, that's the good thing is that we do have all of these sports here. We can support our kids.
God, basketball's
With
not even
so
done.
much-
My son was texting me today. He says, got a game tonight at Bond at 6. And then Keegan's got AAU basketball on Saturday.
It never ends.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Never ends.
And I just saw that tennis camp is starting. They have other sports that they're doing.
Country
like
Club of
camps.
Barry's open.
Yep.
Oh,
Another
gosh.
dining option there
Little-
too.
little
Fairways,
golfer.
fairway greens there.
Get a little golfing in.
I play every Thursday, Monday,
You do?
Tuesday, Wednesday. No, I do play
Any
as much as I
chance
can,
that
but
you
no,
get.
Thursday is a regular league day with friends. But
My
we try
brother
to
plays
sneak out on Monday
Thursdays.
when we're closed.
My brother Greg plays Thursdays at 3:30, something like that.
That's about what time we're getting done.
There must be quite a group up there.
Yeah, Thursday's a busy day up there. That course is beautiful. God,
Is it in good shape right now?
oh my God, yeah, and it's just open. Billy's a magician, and his whole crew up there.
Yeah.
They're so good, and their fairways are like carpet already.
Wow.
It's really kind of wild when you're like, okay, I haven't even mowed my lawn once.
Right, I
and-
haven't done this once yet.
And it's right in our backyard. It's really, that thing is a hidden gem. I don't want to talk it up too much. I don't want it to be too much busier. Not like waiting. Breaks up my left-handed momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we won't go there.
What else? What else do we got?
Well, everything is going. I mean,
My
we have
ADHD is kicking in.
we have Green Up Day this weekend. Lots going on.
Is that this weekend?
So yeah,
The 5th, huh?
this weekend.
That's cool. So Monday night, nobody will even have to
So,
pick up any garbage. It'll all be
Saturday, but the city clerk has the bags. Go get them picked up, and so we have all that. Then,
That's for Berry City and Berry Town. too,
Berry
correct?
City, Berry Town. Well, the whole state of
Well,
Well,
Green
right,
Up-
but I'm saying
Green
you
Up Day.
can go to Berry City and get bags for Berry Town. They're not any different.
Doesn't
right?
matter.
Right,
Yeah.
or either.
I know
town
how this
clerk.
big metropolis city likes to
No,
separate itself.
no,
Berry City
you
and Berry
can go
Town.
to either or and just get bags. There's
me
all
going.
kinds of them at both locations, Berry City and Berry Town. And then on Saturday, also during Green Up Day, the Lions Club is helping assist the Veterans Place in Northfield with a bottle drive. So there will be a drop-off in front of Lenny's, as well as at the elementary school in Berrytown. So they'll be collecting bottles. Anybody that has bottles, they would love for you to bring them. 100% of the proceeds goes to the Veterans Place. And if you have an abundance of bottles or cans, and because you've been drinking all weekend, as Lucas Herring put it, all winter long.
Sure,
not,
yeah.
Not just the weekend, but the
Just
winter long.
leaving them around. You don't want ants to get on them now.
You know, you just contact the Lions Club and they'll work something out with you to come and pick those up. But they would prefer, if you can, that you drop them off to one of the locations.
Yeah, don't be lazy. Go drop them off.
And that's 9 to 3 on Saturday. So all the information is right on AO2 Scoop's Facebook page, and trying to help them get the word out as much as possible and get as many bottles and cans as possible.
Yeah, Mike, Alan, if you're listening to this, any of my bar friends, if you want to give up your bottles,
Yeah, I
here
mean,
you go.
they did.
Please do. We don't do a lot of bottled beer. We do so much draft, but
Yeah, they did a really good job last year. Last year was their first year having it down in Berry City, and they did a really good job. A lot of people came out, and I wasn't sure that that would be the case because they didn't do it on Green Up Day. They did it on. It was one of the sports teams, one of the kids' sports teams that was down here doing a coin drop, and so
that was,
a lot
the
going on.
Granite City Blast, the
Yes.
baseball team.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we were in the Domino's parking lot. We had everything set up. Tom let us set the trailer and everything up there. So we set up there, and the coin drop was going on at the very same
Whoops.
time. So it was a lot of way too
Yeah.
much congestion, and but we still did pretty well. So hopefully this year is a little better. And then we're doing the candidate drop because the following weekend is the city bulk
Bulk waste, yeah.
bulk waste up at the Odd, and the candidates Ward 1, 2, and 3 will be out picking up trash, bulk trash. They'll come right to you. Pretty
They'll do
good
anything to
idea,
get
huh?
elected,
Yeah, they'll come right to you. So,
It's like, I'll do anything elected to just
Yeah.
get on that seat so people can shit on me every
well,
week.
no, this it wasn't really their
What's
idea.
wrong with you people? What are you
This
doing?
really
Did you
wasn't
just
their
retire?
idea. This was kind of just said, hey, do you want to do this? And they were like, yeah, that we can do that. But Ward 1 from 8 to 10, if you have stuff that you cannot get to the odd yourself, if you are somebody that doesn't have a truck or, for whatever reason you can't get to the auditorium, from 8 to 10 in Ward 1, Ward 3 is 10 to noon, and Ward 2 is noon to 2. And then at 2 o'clock at the North End Dollar General, there's going to be a meet and greet, and there'll be ice cream and water, and you can
Brandon Carbos.
hang out.
That's
yeah,
why I'm doing it for the
well,
ice cream.
it could be. You could hang out with, the candidates and ask them any questions you might have. But, so, and this is, Johnny Bedeau is offered to have his truck and trailer. He's going to go with these council members.
That's pretty nice.
And,
Good stuff.
make sure it gets hauled up to the auditorium. And if it doesn't get to the auditorium, if something happens and we're late or whatever, he's offered to dispose of it at his cost. So what is left. So that's pretty awesome. So appliances, we say appliances, but that's only if that appliance can fit on your countertop. No refrigerators and things like that.
Do you ever feel like you're
talking
like she's
about
like she's
that
just talking
kind.
to us like we're supposed to remember all this stuff?
Yeah,
Yes.
all the time.
Well,
You forget that
just
she's
watch
talking
it
to other
back.
people.
Then I have to
you
go
know what I
back and
Watch
watch
it
the
back.
tape several times.
Yeah.
Furniture, mattresses, box spring, yard toys, bicycles, things like that, they'll haul it away for you. But no, not all of your clothes and shoes. And we've gotten some pretty interesting emails
Mother-in-laws.
asking what will mother-in-laws. No, none of that stuff. No picking up any of that stuff. But that's happening the following weekend on the 10th. So if you want to sign up, make sure that you do that soon so that we know that we need to get you on the list and know which ward you're in and what's going on. Yeah. How about you, Jeff?
Everybody else
Anything?
that's bringing their own stuff, does it start at 9?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you guys ever talk about anything fun?
Yeah, we do
Yeah?
most often. We don't usually talk about this kind of stuff.
Oh, I
Truthfully. We usually just shoot the shit
Yeah.
about old time stuff. We talk about whatever. We don't.
guys
we
are
don't,
cute.
Because it's just table talk.
That's what we were shooting for. Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rich.
Nailed it.
Yeah, we don't usually talk about this kind of stuff. We save that for Thursday nights, or Monday or Thursday nights is usually
Yeah.
when we talk about that kind of stuff. And we do try to tell if there's community events going on or things like that. And then, but when it's something important like this, absolutely.
Oh, I'll throw a plug in there for my buddy, really nice guy running for Select Board Berrytown, Dave Soucy. David Soucy, you may have seen it. Anyway, look him up. He's a sweetheart. Hard
Do
worker,
we
good
want
guy.
a sweetheart, or do we want kind of like a?
No, I mean he's a sweetheart of a guy. You can be
Okay.
a sweetheart of a guy and still have whatever, like Jeff. Like he's
you're
a
a
nice
little-
guy.
You're like you're a go-getter
until
and
he's
a little
showing
bit of
off.
a tiger.
You
and-
start talking about guys as sweethearts, I have to move away. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you mean so I could sit there,
No.
making room?
No.
Judy Copping says, what about an ancient chainsaw? I'll check with the guys, but I'm pretty sure, Judy, that would be okay.
Tell Judy and Tina to go have a drink somewhere and stop bugging us.
Cornerstone.
They're participating in this
Oh,
live. That everybody has the opportunity to participate
So
in the
cool.
comment section while we're live.
that is cool.
So here's some
Yeah.
good news. They're working on Cornerstone Field this
Yeah,
week.
I s-
We're bringing it back.
I saw that.
Finally, after the 2 floods, we're bringing it
I
back.
know.
Is there a lot of work to do there?
Well, we lost the fence. That was a big
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a $30,000 thing.
thing. Yeah.
Maybe we should go and get a Micarita.
No, I wouldn't. Those things are garbage.
Well, that's what somebody said.
Tina's
Yeah.
laughing.
Who is?
Tina.
Yeah, no, our margaritas are garbage. We're known for having shitty drinks. So
Listen, I'm going to give you this because I have to, because I'm being very serious when I say this.
okay.
I only usually drink Bud Light. I don't drink any other thing. One,
Are you thinking I'm going to be surprised?
no, but one is because the reason
I would have thought Bud Heavies, but go ahead.
No, I have to tell you this. I do that because I know what it's going to do to my sugar because I'm diabetic. So I know that I can drink 2 Bud Lights and I will be okay. Don't have to take insulin.
Sure.
But somebody had me come down there and with them for lunch one day and wanted me to try one of the margaritas. And I agreed. And the grapefruit one is the one I had, and I absolutely loved it. And I don't drink that stuff. I usually think they're disgusting. And I think there was a raspberry one, I think. It was when you were doing...
He's pretty creative.
You were doing the ones in the summertime, whatever, and then he posts pictures of them in the window with
Yeah.
And I liked it. And I don't ever usually drink that stuff, but it was really, really good.
Mike's very good. I mean, he's somebody that didn't need to be doing this for as long as he has. He's my brother-in-law too, so.
Well, he just likes it. He thinks it's fun, right?
I know he does a great job. He has a good following. He's sweet, he's kind to people.
I'm not telling him that, Tina. No. Tina says she was laughing at you telling her to get lost, not at the margarita. She wasn't laughing at the margarita.
Yeah, I was.
Rich was laughing at the margarita, but Tina's not.
She's being disruptive, is what she's doing.
She is. Tell her to cut that out.
She's trying to have a good time here.
But no, that's good.
So yeah, just come down and have some drinks and.
Why don't
support
you
your
tell
downtown.
us what you've got going on over there at the Cornerstone?
At the Cornerstone?
Well, not just at the Cornerstone. Right now, you're doing all kinds of. You're moving and shaking.
Moving and
all
shaking.
kinds of
Yep,
things.
I did just purchasing Sidewalk Village, the building. I'm looking forward to getting in there and meeting some of the tenants that I don't know very well. There's some sweet people in there, nice businesses. Looking forward to that, and of course, 2 Loco and Vermont Catering that I own are there, and my office is there. And the rest of the building is pretty much full at this point. Cornerstone, I think when the fall comes and we get some good humans, we'll go back to being open a little bit more. We just signed up today. Actually, this one's going to be a big one. I forgot about this. DoorDash.
Oh, nice.
So in 2
Yep.
weeks, and it'll be limited hours. I'm not looking to bog down my employees or beat everybody in the head with a stick over selling a few more things. But what we'll do is we'll try to promote the slower times. Mm-hmm. For instance, maybe having it 5 nights a week from 4 to 5:30 at Cornerstone.
Right. Yep.
And then 5:30, I want to focus on the dining inside when we're full. Obviously, the kitchen only has so much capacity, and I don't want to get to where the people that take the time to come down there are not getting what they deserve. And then 2 Loco is opposite. They're so busy during the day, but typically pretty slow after 4 or 5 o'clock. So I think over there at night, and the kids will love that too.
Right.
That place is the best kept little secret. I'm sorry.
I don't.
You just get you just get an awesome portion for a reasonable price. Everything is fresh every day because we do a good amount of volume. There's a chest freezer in that whole entire thing. There's no freezer. The only thing that's frozen in the whole menu there is corn. Everything else is braised. All the beans none of the beans are canned. Like it's really just good, and you can have it be really good for you, or you can make a mess of yourself. Yeah.
Put a ton of sour cream
But
on
I bet I should weigh one as a little thing just to see. I bet there were a couple pounds. Like it's just like it's like a football. So
Yeah.
I don't give them the redheaded stepchild, and they shouldn't, because their staff is awesome. Sarah, who's been over there running it for years, is one of my favorite humans. I just got to get more into promoting that place because it's cute. It's a
Are
cute
you
little spot.
looking to? So you're full. You don't need more people in there.
I have one.
space?
I have one office spot upstairs that's available. I'll be posting this stuff soon. I wanted to get to where I'm actually owning it before I start selling space. But the basement, of course, has housed a bunch of businesses throughout the years, but also now
has.
takes on water. So, and not a ton, but it'd have to be something kind of like. that
I
wasn't
was trying to
concerned with that.
remember what was down there when we were kids.
It was like a department store.
That's what I thought, or a shoe store or something.
Yeah.
I remember there was something down.
Fleischmann's, is that what it was called? I
Maybe.
think the whole building was a mall at one point. But
Do you remember what it was? Yeah, it was.
I bet somebody
It
might
was
remember.
MH Fishman's.
Yeah, Fishman. There you go.
It
downstairs.
was Newberry on this side and Fishman's on the other side.
And Fishman's was only in the basement.
Up and down.
Upside
Yeah, it was
Valley?
up and
Up and
Oh,
down.
it was up and down.
They
It's
both
a
had
big space. It's like the whole building is I don't know, like 8,500 square feet.
Hey, and somebody had a gym in there at one point. didn't
Jimmy
they?
Jimmy Wilmot.
Yeah, Wilmot did. They had a archery thing in there
Yeah, I remember that.
at one point. like an indoor range.
Yep.
I've had people reach out to me because I put a thing out a few weeks ago trying to like kind of get some ideas and maybe invest in some younger entrepreneurs. A lot of the stuff I had coming to me doesn't really fit the space, you know, like somebody's like axe throwing would be cool. And it's like, yeah, it'd be cool, but the ceilings are only 8 foot tall. You know, you need to be 12.
You can't be doing that. Yep.
But no, I've got a few, my wheels are turning.
Yeah.
But
That's
all good.
not surprising to me at all that your wheels are turning. But no, I mean that it could be super cool because, like you said, it's a big space and and maybe you could have many different things in there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that a lot of us need to get
What
away
about
from.
like a jail?
Well, could be.
might-
You never
might
know.
need one.
But we need to get away from the concept that only one thing can be in one space. Like it could be multi-use. You could
Well, I
have
mean-
somebody that does something in the morning, yoga studio, and then something else
Oh,
in the
gotcha.
afternoon. If you really want to start a business, but you're scared to do such a thing for rent, whatever, there are opportunities in
Don't be
places
scared.
like that to share things and to learn from people that have been doing it for a long time. And
Don't be scared. I will tell you that buying a building around here, when
not
you
faint
start
of
wanting
heart.
to talk about flood insurances,
Yeah.
holy smokes. But
yeah, that part's scary.
anyway, yeah. So that's what we're doing.
Cool.
You good?
I'm good.
You're good? Do you have anything that you want to tell us, Jeff? What's going on good? Anything? You going to camp this weekend?
I am about ready to turn the water on, get everything going. Yeah.
Nice.
Get things
Yep.
spruced up, ready
Yep.
to rock
I
and
actually
roll?
went up yesterday.
Do you go up a lot in the summer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just
Beats
hunting
being
camp.
hanging around the city.
It's
you know.
not hunting camp for you. It's like literally that's where
It's-
you like to be.
Come November, it's hunting camp.
Right.
He likes black flies, like the initial hatch and the
That's
mosquitoes.
that. I stay away when the black flies come out, man. They're nasty.
Then you stay right away from camp. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, thank you so much for coming.
Oh my
in
God, I'm
and
happy to be here.
chatting
And
with us
please,
and-
I think just like let's just stop beating the dead horse of these people and just know that they're not going anywhere probably. And
Well, that's a good idea.
be
to
safe,
invite
stay out of their
everybody.
face, don't offer them anything. Eventually, if you don't give them stuff, they'll go away.
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully,
that's what I would
that's
be.
the hope.
The collective force for me would be presence and stop giving them shit
Yeah.
because they're not doing anything good with it.
Yeah.
Let them go somewhere
Like
else.
stop giving them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of things. So, okay, guys.
Good seeing you.
Thank you for
Jeff.
tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in, joining us this afternoon. Let's see, no, the girls, it's Wednesday night. So the ladies will be here at 5:30 for quarters with Lori Shepard. I'm sure they have plenty to talk about. And then tomorrow, Jeff and I will join you at 4. And, right? We'll be here at 4. And then Michael and I will be here tomorrow night for the weekly wrap. We'll let you know all the community events, things happening local, Washington County area, and who knows what else we'll talk about. But thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow.